This is my Flosstube channel, Sugar and Stitches, and welcome back. It has been a long time since I've made a video. Thank you to those of you who are still hanging around. You might notice, if you've watched this channel before, that my surroundings are slightly different, and that is because we moved. So I think I made my last video right before or right after I changed jobs. Things got really busy and a little stressful after that, but I'm like settled in now, everything is good. And then after that though, I changed jobs. We built a house, we went to Japan, my husband got a new job, and then we went to Costa Rica. So it has been a very busy like year and a half for us, and I just like completely checked out of making videos, but now I am a little bit more settled. Me and my husband are settled in where we're supposed to be and where we're going to be for at least a little bit. So I wanted to get back into trying to make these videos because it was something that I really enjoyed doing, and I love to like interact with you guys in the comments and everything. So yes, I am going to attempt to do this again and try and maybe do like a once a month video schedule if I can. So I'm sure there will be points where things get busy again, but at least for now we don't have anything planned until like around Christmas time. So besides like small stuff like a concert or something, but we should be fine. We can breathe a little bit and calm down a little bit. So I have some stitching to share with you guys today. I was going to kind of treat this like a WIP parade. I know it's close to the middle of the year, so I feel like a lot of people do their mid-year WIP parades around this time, and I figured I would just put mine in that same space because I've also changed a lot of things. I feel like my stitching style has morphed a lot from like when I first started this channel to now. I stitch a lot more like modern cutesy things now than I did when I first started, and I was doing a lot more of like the traditional samplers and everything, which I still think are gorgeous, but it just doesn't fit in quite as much with the style that we're going for with everything, especially in my office here. You know, you can see all the, I got the piranha plant and like my rainbow cows and all of my little cross stitches on the wall and stuff. So yeah, it has changed a little bit. I did UFO some things that I just wasn't enjoying anymore, and I'm not like fully committing to never picking them up again, but they're things that I have kind of like set aside as I don't want to work on them right now. A couple of those are my two Bella Filipinas that I had going. I had barely started both of them, and I did not like stitching from those charts, and I just wasn't having fun with it. I was like, I just want to put these aside for now and pretend like they don't exist, and someday I may or may not go back to them. But with all of that said, the first thing I wanted to show you guys is my two most recent finishes. So I have finished a lot of things in the past like year and a half that I haven't been filming, but I wasn't going to like show all of everything that I finished. Some of them are on my wall and stuff, and I really don't want to have to take them down and then put them back and everything. So if you want to see everything that I finished in the past year and a half, you can always hit up my Instagram. I have everything that I've ever stitched on there, so that's like the full journal record of all of my stitching. But I finished about 2 weeks ago a sal that I was doing with my friend Jara, which Jara, here I am making videos again. Hi. I hope you enjoy. And she also has her own Flosstube too, which I will link in the description for you guys. She started making Flosstube videos too, which was another reason I felt slightly compelled to get back into it. But we were doing the Flossy Fox Shop Flower Meadow Dragon Sal together. And I finished mine a couple weeks ago, which was a little bit late. She finished hers on time, and I was lagging behind severely. So this, I don't remember what this fabric was called, but it was from a shop called Kitty Bloom Studio on Etsy, and she does printed fabrics like this. The one thing I will warn you about, I do love this fabric, I love the color. if you get water on this at all, you will ruin the dye. I started one piece on another, one project on another piece of fabric from her, and I accidentally got like the tiniest drop of water on it in the middle of the pattern, and it will completely like blow out all the dye around it. So just be warned, if you want to get fabric from her shop, they are very pretty, but just be very, very careful with them. But this is completely finished now. I need to get a frame for it and put it up on my wall. I stitched the Night of the Frost Dragon Sal last year and really loved doing that, also with Jara. But yes, I finished this late, but it is finished now. Late is better than never, right? So I used all the called for threads and everything, and I am absolutely in love with all of the Flossy Fox shop patterns. I am part of her Patreon, and she releases so many beautiful things. The last one that she released, the Moonlight Dragon, is so gorgeous. I'm so tempted to start it. I have enough projects. I promise, but that one is very beautiful. So I finished that. And then the other thing that I finished, which I just finished this one yesterday, I think, or the day before, I can't remember. It was yesterday or the day before. But this one was a Lola Crow that was released at the Harvest Moon Hangout last year. So this will, I think I don't know if this is released yet as like a normal thing you can buy, because I know it was exclusive at the time to the Harvest Moon Hangout, but I think she releases them like a year later or something. So if it's not out now, it should be out soon. And this one, look at that. It's so cute. I love the little raccoon and everything. It's absolutely adorable. Why am I blanking on the name of this one? I'll put the actual name of the pattern like down here, because for some reason, even though I just posted about this yesterday, I can't remember the name. And this was also using all of the called for thread and everything. It's absolutely adorable. I love all the little candy corns, and I think my favorite is, this little mole guy right here is so cute. His little fingers over the pumpkin like he's just coming out. But this was stitched on 32 count velt, and I love it. I love it. I want to make this into like a small pillow or something for Halloween so I can put it out somewhere. But yes, this is finished. Okay, so since I finished two things, I decided to let myself start something new. So last year I purchased a pattern called Verdant Reverie, and it was at the Midsummer Stitch, hosted by Lindy Stitches, and I got the Scotsman fabric for it, so the darker fabric option, and I'll put a picture of what it will look like when it's done up here. But I just started this yesterday and I got to here. So this one is, I'm like 11% done with this. I think last time I looked in Pattern Keeper, but I just started this yesterday, and I did take the day off yesterday because our company gives us a mental health day to use in May sometime, and I just figured I would turn Memorial Day weekend into a 4-day weekend. So I took yesterday off, that Friday, and I have Monday off, so I will get a lot of stitching done this weekend, hopefully. But I am really glad I went with the dark fabric. I love how the colors pop on this, and this is actually my first sprouting lupine that I am working on, which is insane because I feel like I have so many of her patterns favorited on Etsy, but for some reason this is the first one that I'm actually doing, that I actually started. So there we go. And this one is like the shape of a bell pull, so I'll probably finish it as an actual bell pull and hang it somewhere on my wall up there when it's actually finished. Okay, so now I have all of the WIPs that I'm currently working on, and this excludes all of the things that I have like randomly UFO'd over the past 1.5 years. So this is only the things I'm like actively working on right now. Okay, So the first pattern that I have that is a WIP is Fantasy Axolotls by Needle Lot Designs, and this is at 29.16%. I just did some of the seaweed and hanging stuff in that top corner, and then I did the first pink axolotl on the top, and I'll put a picture of what it will look like when it's finished in the corner. This was part of one of her Ko-Fi patterns for her Ko-Fi subscribers, and I absolutely fell in love with this one. I knew I had to start it, especially with summer coming up. So yeah, this one is absolutely adorable. And I think this is 32 count Stormy Night, which is a Witchell like printed fabric. Yes, I think so. I also didn't do a great job of keeping track of my fabric selections and everything over this past year and a half. So a lot of these, I don't know. I didn't write it down what they were on because I wasn't doing videos and I was just off in my own world. So I apologize. The next thing that I started was was a Patreon pattern from Fine Frog Stitching. And I think I just saw her post fairly recently, like the last couple months, that this one is available now for just like normal purchase. And it is the Opossum Forager, and I apologize because this looks kind of creepy right now because she doesn't have eyes. And I'll again insert a picture of what it'll look like when it's done. Yes, I love this one. I love her little basket of mushrooms and everything, and she does look a little scary at this moment without her eyes and kind of this weird like hollow skeletal face look, but once I start filling everything in, she will be gorgeous. And she is at 25.06% done. I've been trying to be a little bit better about not like starting things and putting like 5 stitches into them and then putting them away. I'm trying to like get most things to like at least a quarter finished and kind of stitch on like chunks of like either like 10% or 25%. So I'm not just like picking up a project to stitch 100 stitches and then put it away and not see it again for like a year. Because I do like looking back and seeing more like significant progress on things. I don't like when I work on something and then I look at it again and I'm like, what did I even do on this project? I can't even remember. So yeah, I did about 25% on that one. The next one that I have is from Jed X Stitch, and it is Circle Circle Dot Dot. I am in love with this one. This one is just like goofy, bright 70s vibes to me. And it is adorable. This one is also at around 25%. It's 25.12% finished. So here we go. I want to pull this one out soon too, because it is like summer. It's already hot here as usual, but this is so cute. This is very summer vibes to me, so I want to pull this out again and keep working on it. And I do not remember what this fabric is called, but this is another one that I've since started since the last time I made a video. All right. Next one is, this is also, it's not a stitch along like officially, but I am stitching this with Jara as well. And this is the Summoner by Autumn Lane Stitchery, and we both bought this pattern and started it at the same time. This is at 40% finished. It is pretty big and there is a ton of black in this. Obviously it's quite a bit of DMC 310, which is fine because I have my cone up there of 310 that will last forever. And this is on the called for fabric. I don't remember what it was called, but it was whatever the designer requested. I think it was a Be Stitch Me fabric. But yeah, I love how some of that like light blue is showing up on this fabric. It's gorgeous. I want to work on this a little bit more before it hits like fall Halloween season, which for me, I start getting the urge to work on fall patterns like I don't know, it gets to like July, August, and I'm already looking forward to kind of like the cooling off in the fall season and everything. So I already kind of have that inclination to start all of the spooky stitching a little bit early. So we'll see. I would love to get this done this year. When we started, we were like, oh, we could finish it in like 6 months, because I forget how many stitches it is. But I think we made a plan and we were like, oh, if we do this many stitches, that's so easy. We can get it done in like 6 months. And we did not get it done in 6 months. But it's fine. We'll get it done when it gets done. So all in good time. Okay, the next one that I started is actually a kit from Letty Stitch, and it is called Winter Kitties. I'm sorry, I did not iron any of this, but this is where I am right now. And I don't have that much left on this. I just need to finish the second cat and then do all the back stitching. I already did the back stitching for the first cat, and they're just adorable to me. They're little, like, look at his little face. He's so cute. And as you guys know, I have an orange cat, Miso. He is currently sleeping on top of his cat tree in the corner of the room. I can put a picture of him up here. But he is currently asleep. Okay. And I will say I really do like the Letty Stitch kits. That's the first one that I've done. They're printed very, like, I don't want to say large format, but they are very easy to read. They are paper charts, but for me it has been super easy to read off of those and like highlight the stitches as I go. I don't know, sometimes when I try and stitch off paper charts, there are some that are kind of problematic for me, like they're super small or they're like not good quality paper or something, but that has been really good, and that kind of makes me want to try more of their kits in the future possibly. But I got that little small one so I could just like test it out and see how I liked it. But I love it, and it's over 50% done, and I do kind of want to finish that one before winter rolls around this year so that I can actually have it, like, you know, framed and ready to go and put it somewhere when it gets cold eventually. So I might try and do that at some point. The next one that I have, and that was all just the kit, thread and fabric and everything. The next WIP that I have is Plant Witch, and I apologize because I'm probably going to mispronounce this designer, but it's Nathnalu. I'll put it like right here. And this is her Plant Witch. I am 55% finished with this. I showed this to my husband and he asked me, he was like, is it done? And I was like, no, it's not. There's like a whole nother plant on this side of her. But it does actually kind of look like you could just stitch this like half of it and frame it if you wanted to. And it would still look really good, but she is so cute. And I started her, I think this year. It might have been last year, but I was working on her a little bit this spring because, I don't know, I guess a plant witch can be a spring witch, right? But yeah, she is so cute. And I saw that same designer came out with, I think it was the crocheting one, but it's like a little mouse in a upholstered chair with like a mannequin with a crochet cardigan on it, and it's so cute, and it's like in pinks, I think, like pinks and tan colors. Super pretty. I might have to pick that one up too after I finish this. This one might be one that I try and finish in time for like Halloween this year too, but also I have at least one older WIP that's Halloween that I really want to finish this year because it's kind of an old one of mine and I feel like it's languishing, and I feel like a large part of why it's languishing is because it's a PDF pattern that's not Pattern Keeper compatible, which this one by Nathnalu is Pattern Keeper compatible, and that's why I know exactly what percentage of the way through I am and everything. But the other one that I'm talking about, which I guess I can go ahead and show you guys that one, is Midnight Way by the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. I did get some progress on this. I think last time I showed you guys this, because this is an old WIP of mine, I had just done the bookstore and the stuff underneath it. So I did start on the actual words Midnight Way there in the middle here. So I did work on it some, but unfortunately, even though this pattern is a PDF, it's not Pattern Keeper compatible, so I have to work just from the normal PDF, which I never thought would be such a obstacle for me to overcome. I used to work exclusively on paper patterns. I didn't have Pattern Keeper. I never used it, and it was never a problem. And then I feel like I've been spoiled now, where like I work on something that's a paper pattern, or that's just a normal digital pattern that you can't put in, or that's just like an image file that you can't actually put into Pattern Keeper, and it feels like so much more of a chore than just stitching off a Pattern Keeper does now. But I love this pattern so much. It's absolutely adorable, and I kind of really want to try and finish this year, which it's not a big pattern. It's really not. It's so small, actually. It should be super doable, but my patterns that aren't in Pattern Keeper, I just feel like I pick them up way less. I have to like be in the mood to spend a little more like mental computing power on all of the counting and making sure everything's in the right spot, and trying not to like miss a bunch of stitches or something of the same color when I'm going through. It's like I've been spoiled by all the highlight and search functions in Pattern Keeper now. But I really do want to try and get this done, because this is one of my oldest WIPs, and it's not big, and I'm only like a third of the way through it, because there's like 3 buildings and I've only done 1. And that one is also on, I think it's 32 count Whimsy. It's the called for floss and fabric that's on the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery website. But yes, I want to try and finish that. We'll see how that goes. Okay, keeping with the Halloween theme here, I have Perfect Pumpkin Posse from Stitchy Pros, and this one was also a exclusive for the Harvest Moon Hangout, I believe, last year. I didn't get a lot done on this. I just did the first cat, and then I was filling in the pumpkin with that over dyed thread right there, so I didn't get a whole lot done. I'm not like committed to trying to finish this year or anything, but I would like to finish filling in this pumpkin and then maybe get like one more cat or one more pumpkin done, just to get some like good visible progress on it. And this one is just really cute, and you guys know, again, I have to love every cat pattern because I have a cat. So, and that one is on 32 count Vintage Country Mocha, which is all the called for threads. Okay, the other holiday. This is, I think, my only Christmas WIP right now, and it is Yule Goddess by the Tiny Modernist, and this is at 50% finished, and this is on the called for grasshopper. I think I did 32 count, the called for grasshopper linen with all of the called for DMCs, and I made sure to get this to 50% before I put it down the last time I worked on it. So she is so gorgeous, and I've seen Tiny Modernist come out with a couple more of these like goddess style ladies, and I think my favorite one that she's come out with since then is probably the Tea Goddess. I kind of really want to buy and start that one at some point, but I want to get this one finished before I do that. And I think I want to at least put another 25% into her, so I get to 75%, if not try and finish her this year, but we'll see how it goes. I do love Christmas patterns, and there are so many of them that are absolutely gorgeous, but I only feel like I want to stitch on Christmas stuff from like after Thanksgiving to like maybe through January, if I'm lucky. It's not like with fall patterns, I don't know, I get to like midsummer and I want to start stitching fall, and so I have like July, August, September, October, November. I have like 5 months that I want to stitch like fall or Halloween things, but then for Christmas, I really only want to stitch Christmas stuff for like December, January, so like 2 months. And so even though there's so many patterns that are gorgeous for Christmas, I try and limit myself because I know I don't want to stitch Christmas that frequently. But I should probably pick up like one more Christmas pattern this year. If I'm going to be at like 75% done with this one, I feel like I could use at least like one more as an option. Okay. Oh yes. So this is also one of my older WIPs that I do want to try and finish this year, and I have not, I have made good progress on this since the last time I made a video and showed this. And this is Miss Goss Swallowtail by Nora Corbett. And this is on 32 count coconut shell from Be Stitch Me. And the last time you guys saw this, I think I didn't have this wing filled in at all, so I have done that. I went and filled in that entire wing. I need to fill in the other one, and then I need to do all of the back stitching and beading. So all of the spaces that aren't stitched and like the border between the black and the blue of this wing are all beads. So I need to go back and put all of those in after I finish filling in the second wing. But she's real. I do love her. I think one of the reasons I don't pick this one up a lot is because it's a paper pattern, even though I like Nora Corbett Mirabilia paper patterns. Like, they are nice. I don't have like the same beef with them that I do with the Bella Filipina ones. But it's still just like slightly more effort. So I need to go and just suck it up and do the second part of filling in this wing here and just be done with it. Because also, I have two other Nora Corbett's. I have so many Mirabilia patterns, which I was thinking, since I put my Bella Filipinas to the side and I don't have a Mirabilia pattern on the go, I might start one of my Mirabilia patterns, because I have a few that are kitted up. But I don't know. I haven't looked through them and kind of like decided what I want to do yet. But for the Nora Corbett's, the smaller ones, I have two. I have a Mermaid My Soleil, I think. And then I have the Irish Bells one. Both beautiful. I have everything I need to start both of them, and I kind of want to finish Miss Goss Swallowtail first, though, before I start another one. So I also have her PCs one from the Zodiac series. Even though I am not a PCs, I like that one the most, so I bought it. I don't know. So I want to finish this one, definitely, and just get it out of the way. It can go up in like a hoop here with one of the Mushroom Girls, or what was she? Miss Bleeding Hearts. Yeah, that one. So she can go up on the wall when she's finished. Okay, and then this one is low-key the bane of my existence. I'm joking. It's really not that bad. It's just, I have a love-hate relationship with full coverage stitching. And like, by full coverage stitching, I don't necessarily just mean like full coverage, full stop. I mean like the very like confetti heavy, like Haid, Pain-Free Crafts type of full coverage stitching, because I love watching people who have tons of full coverage WIPs. Like Jessie Marie, I love her videos. I would be so stressed out if I had so many projects that were at like under 10% completed. It would drive me insane, and I know I will never finish all of them. However, I get the urge occasionally to work on like a full coverage piece like that. So I decided I will let myself have one. I will let myself have one, and then maybe once I get this one to like 50% or something, I'll let myself have one more. And I am nowhere near 50%. I am, what, 2%? Yes, I am 2% done with this one. But this is Izanami Goddess by Thread Geeks. This was a Thread Geeks one. And I have just started in the top corner and mostly just put in DMC 310 because there's a ton of black. So I started in that corner with her parasol. So you can kind of see where like the, oh, what are they called? The little spikes that hold up like parasols and umbrellas, where those are here. But yeah, so this is kind of I don't pick this up that much, but I'm actually kind of getting the urge this weekend to work on a full coverage, so I might pick this up and just go at it for a little bit. It's not even like the biggest full coverage ever. I think it's only like, it's in the low hundreds. It's like 104 or 120,000 stitches or something. So it's definitely not like the most insane large full coverage piece ever, but it is still pretty large. I think it's about 104 because I think this is like 2,000 something stitches and I'm at about 2%, so that would make sense. But yeah, I'm using just 28 count easy grid and I'm doing 1/1. I've tried to do like 25 count and I can't. I've tried to use like 2 threads on 25 count and it feels too thick. I know that's what Haid recommends for theirs. And I've tried to do 1/1 on 25 count and I don't like the lack of coverage that I get with like the darker colors. So I just decided to do 28 count 1/1 and it's working. It's working for me. So yeah. But yeah, so this will take me a billion years. I think I started this like a year ago and I'm still at 2%. So oops. Okay, that is all of my WIPs. And the only other thing that I wanted to show you guys, I think, was I got a kit from Mareshka, and the reason I love their kits, honestly, and I can't even say I love their kits because I haven't actually stitched it yet, but I love the fact that they give you a digital pattern. They have their own app called FantaStitch, and if you order one of their new patterns, at least, it doesn't come with a printed chart at all. It just comes with a QR code to scan to get the actual pattern, and you can import it into their FantaStitch app, and it works just like Pattern Keeper, basically, where you can highlight and search all of your stitches and keep track of everything. Super nice. But I got this one called Coastal Gardens. This was one that they had just released, and I found it at a shop on sale for like $50 when it was listed everywhere else at like $70. So I went ahead and picked it up. And I kind of bought this one in a weird way as like, not a stitch with my mom, but my mom wanted to get into cross stitch a little bit. She's not really like a crafty person at all, but I think she just wanted to do something that like I do too, so we can like have something more to talk about. And she was showing me like what she wanted to stitch, and she pulled up this Luca S pattern, which I'll throw up here. It's like a Santa. And I was like, and she was like, oh, is this like going to be hard? Like, because she doesn't have a lot of experience with like cross stitch or anything. And I was like, I mean, it's not going to be like hard in the sense of all cross stitch is just making X's. It's just how much of that you really want to do. And she was kind of like, I get the vibe that you're telling me this would be too much, but like, I kind of want this one anyway. And I was like, I mean, if you want that one, you can do it. That's fine. Like, I will help you. And so she bought it, and now she's like, okay, wait. She did part of it, and then she was kind of like, I need to do something smaller first. So she found these little like wreath ornament patterns on Etsy that she's working on, just to like get a hang of the stitching first, which I think is probably a good idea. But I kind of, in my head, I was like, oh, well, what if I get one of like these larger kits too, and then I can stitch not the same pattern with her, because that one's not really my style, but like we have in our living room, we have a coffee bar with our espresso machine and everything, and above it we have kind of a print that's like Amalfi Coast-y style. So when I saw this come out, I thought it was gorgeous because it does kind of give me like the Mediterranean Riviera vibe. So it would go well with the stuff that's in our house. And I can like also not suffer through, but I can also stitch kind of like a bigger full coverage kit style pattern with her, though I will say, I think I have heard people say before that for Luca S kits, some people have allegedly emailed them and gotten a PDF version of the chart, but I don't know if that's like guaranteed. They do normally just come in like paper pattern. So I did kind of cheat a little bit and choose to go with the one like kit producer who does give you just the PDF QR code with their own app and everything, because I was like, the Letty Stitch kit that I'm doing is already just on paper, and I was like, I don't really want to deal with having another paper pattern that I will end up not wanting to pull out as much. So I might start this. Speaking of like plans and things, I know I mentioned a few things that I want to try and finish. I want to try and get a little bit further on Verdant Reverie, just because I did just start it. So I don't know, I might try and get it to like 25%, like I mentioned before I put it down. I might start this kit here soon. I kind of have the full coverage bug, which this is full coverage, but it's more like the kit full coverage with like the half stitches and full stitches and different like number of threads and everything. So I don't know. We'll see. I'll work on Izanami Goddess a little bit this weekend. I'll get a little bit further on Verdant Reverie. I do want to finish Miss Goss Swallowtail. And I think those are like my 3 main goals for the next little bit. But yeah, besides that, we've been good, and thank you guys for sticking around. I've been doing a lot of reading, actually, this past few months. I haven't been doing a lot of knitting or anything. I think it's gotten kind of warm, and I've kind of quit for at least a little bit until it actually gets cold again, which will, you know, be late December for us, probably. So yeah, I've been good. I hope you all have been having a good year so far, or as good as we can hope for. And I really enjoyed getting to make a video again. It was a lot of fun, and let me know in the comments what you guys have been up to, what you guys are working on, and I hope you guys have a wonderful Memorial Day weekend in the US, or if you're anywhere else, just a wonderful weekend.